How'd you feel about your opening statement and how? I mean, from our perspective, pretty smooth.
Would you say grand slam or home run?
I mean, all the same result goes over the fence.
I got 3 players here, so I'm gonna put them on bases.
Okay, there you go.
But no, I just wanted to come out here and just know, there's growth. There's growth in everything that you do. You're gonna see growth in my team this year, and you saw growth with me with this press conference. But it was I was looking forward to this, and like I told you guys before, I've been waiting on this opportunity to come back out here.
Nice to kind of quiet people that were kind of looking forward to, I guess, another misstep or anything like that.
Yeah. But they clearly don't know me, so.
How much do you think you grew as a coach from game 1 to the last game of the season last year?
Almost definitely a lot. Because you're learning on the run. It's your first time being a head coach, you're learning on the run. Just like my first time being a running back coach, I was learning on the run. Even though I had coached under people, you still have a few ideas of certain type of things, but it's still like, still on the run.
What was the message you wanted to send in your press conference? Kind of what was the thinking behind what you were saying?
It was kind of more of just, address the past, let them know about the present, and then hit them with the future. I think I just kind of did that.
Just as far as the kind of quiet moves made in the offseason, as far as the behind-the-scenes staff, new GM, Kari Darlington, I believe he was a scout with the Panthers. So I'm assuming that's where the relationship, I guess, what went into some of those changes?
Salary cap. I just thought that I needed some guys that have been in the pros, just to help us allocate the money and everything. We brought in Stephen Price, also who was a scout with Minnesota in the front office and everything. But those 2 guys together have probably 24 plus years in the front office, and I just think that could help us in the future, just going on and making sure that we allocate the money the right way.
And what changes with Butler and Chris Carter?
Chris Carter is taking another role, more admin, so helping with academics and day-to-day stuff with the players. Butler is more of Butler does a great job of evaluating talent, so we kind of kept him in that role. Like, he was still doing the same thing, he's still overseeing things also, but he just has a good knack at seeing talent, and we wanted to keep him in that role, just to do that, to make sure that he can eval talent and bring in the right guys that we have. We lost one guy to Oklahoma. Yep. But other than that, I just wanted to bring guys that wanted to be here, and Kari was doing a lot with us last season, just helping us out and stuff like that, so it was just good to be able to get him on board.
And you kind of read my mind about, I was going to allude to Stacy leaving, but you got Marshawn in a senior director of recruiting role, but you've also got Jake Sugarman in a high school relations role. What's the, difference in their duties?
Stacy was kind of doing both of those,
right?
And we just thought that it could be easier to break it up into 2 people, just so just being in LA, it's hard, it's tough, So we got to have somebody that really is a liaison for our Southern California talent and coaches. So I think Marshawn does a good job at that, and using his connection and his resources, and then Jake coming from the SEC and just able to help us just with the overall landscaping of just college football.
With Rev Share, it's going to start August 1st, the payments. How did you go about breaking down the allocations? I know last year you talked about, first stringers would get X amount, second stringers X amount, developmental players. Was it similar to that, or how did you go?
We went completely off your ability. So everything was coming through Stevie and Kari. They're going to evaluate the talent and then place it into where we think we need to pay them. And everything went good. The players understood that. They were fired up about the situation, and they loved that we had people explaining to them how you're getting this money or why you're not getting this money. And I think that resonated with our players.
Does everybody know what everybody else is getting?
That's up to them if they want to go downstairs and tell, but I'm pretty sure people are inflating their numbers. That's just life, But we haven't put anything out publicly like that for the other players to see, so if they wanted to share that.
How much are you operating with the belief that NIL is still going to be a thing, like beyond revenue share?
You kind of just have to continue to, it's almost daily. Like, you wake up and it's like, okay, it's still here. Oh, let's go. So we're just going to take it day by day and just see what happens. But as of right now, yeah, we're still operating as such.
How have you prepared the players in terms of like the financial literacy and for them to know how to manage money?
We had to have courses all winter. Financial literacy, help them with LLCs, taxes, just everything. So now that they're really making money, these guys got to make sure that they're taking care of everything off the field with that money. We want to make sure we can help them.
If I did the count right when I was going through the roster that was released this morning, looks like you are at 105, but there's also one player out there who's filed a lawsuit against the NCAA, Caden Robinson. If he were to get his injunction granted, would that mean somebody would have to come off the roster to keep you at 105?
No, because he was coming before the rule.
So he'd be grandfathered
Yes.
in. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. And do you, I guess, is there an update or anything you can even say about that?
There's not much I can say. We're just waiting on the hearing, I guess.
Right. But you would welcome him?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
You guys got to do a training camp off campus.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that? And
I just love after playing in NFL, I love the way that we came together during training camp. And then being with Coach Moore and him doing that also, it resonated with me like, yeah, this is what we need to do. So I wanted to get back to that. Last season, we weren't able to practice off-site, but I had them stay off-site just so they could eat dinner, lunches, and everything together. And now since we can all be in Costa Mesa together, I think it's just a good thing for this team to grow, especially with so many new people. With this new era of football, 50%. So you got to find a way to get them to come together, and this is a perfect opportunity.
how long will you all be down there?
Till the little over 16 days, 17 days, 15 days.
Okay. Then when you come back, I've heard that the field's not going to be ready, so you're going to have to do like in a real field, Drake Stadium, or are you going to...
It just depends.
Okay.
Because I haven't heard that it's not going to be ready yet, so that's going to...
After a season, you at the helm. After a season at the helm of this program, you're always going to be kind of grounded in discipline, respect, enthusiasm. But is there something new or different you want to bring to your coaching philosophy, and that you have a season in the books?
Something new. I think it's more of just coaching all together. One thing I want to do is make sure that I'm visible to both sides of the team, offense and defense, not just offense. I think as spring was going, I was trying to find more ways to keep inserting myself over on defense. But other than that, I think if we can continue to embody these players, we should be okay.
And you kind of touched on it in your press conference. Obviously, you can't talk about specifics of your 2026 recruiting class, but generated quite a bit of buzz in June. Just what was that like seeing, the I guess the vision you had, that coast-to-coast vision start to, actually come to fruition?
It was just something that I knew we could do. UCLA is a beautiful campus, it's a wonderful school, so if you get people on campus, they're going to want to join. And every time we got a kid from Florida and he came on campus, he wanted to join in. So we were just excited for that, and I just love that my coaches are taking pride in recruiting. They're making it like competitive between each other and stuff. So when you have younger coaches, that's what they want to do, and I'm just excited for this opportunity to continue to keep getting this recruiting class that we have and keep getting higher and higher.
When you overhauled the staff, how important was that number one factor, or pretty close to it, when you were looking at guys to hire? Coach Meat and everybody.
I wasn't hanging my hat on recruiting, but the coaching aspect was probably first, and then that recruiting was like 1B. But it was right there.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that we had some good coaches at first. But I just love that because to be honest with you, I didn't know they were going to compete about the recruiting the way that they are doing. I knew that they like to recruit, but they're competing at it. That's
Who's winning the competition? Who's first in the standings?
Oh man, I know. I came out the blocks hot for a little bit, and then Andy came
Kwan,
in.
yeah.
So
I'm
gonna say it's
such a guy. A lot of people, at least us, we didn't really know about.
Yeah, no idea. So I'm gonna think right now it's Andy, and then Coach Me.
Kaika could come from behind sometime soon.
Yeah, but I think his is different though, because he has his hand on all of the defensive players.
So it's cheating.
So it's a little bit, So he gets everybody like that.
You got time for maybe two.
Well, going back to the discipline aspect, obviously the penalties were a big, thing you wanted to iron out. What can you do between now, the start of the season, to I mean, I guess how much can coaching be,
Discipline.
part of the solution, and how much of it just has to be the players?
It's both, because you can't just put it on the players.
Right.
We have to demand it out of them, and you have to. Don't let up. If you want them to be there at a certain time, that's what time you want them there. Don't let up. And I think our coaches are doing a good job of echoing the things that I'm saying and holding them accountable to it. So we're just trying to make them compete in everything that they do, and I think that's going to help us with the discipline aspect.
So some personnel things really quick. Hudson, Gary, and Keanu, are they both full go and ready to go?
Yeah, yeah. They've been full going off season, so yeah.
And Hudson as
Yes,
well?
most definitely.
I think I heard the month of June, was he officially cleared by doctors?
Yeah, Huddy?
Yeah, Hudson.
Yeah, Huddy, yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.